Testies, 1, 2, 3. Need that reference, everybody. Anyways, what up, Schmoedown rockers? Decided to do something I normally wouldn't think I would do, but I'm gonna record this while I'm waiting for hunting, or at least while there's daylight, and while I remember before I decide to see whichever semifinal is supposed to go up on Patreon tomorrow. Probably one of the last days I'll be able to hunt, and so far they ain't come to me. Figured while I'm waiting for them to come to me, the dang deer, I do Schmoedown Rocks here. Give you a little behind the scenes thing on that while I'm doing an actual episode. So, sorry, I'm just looking around, trying to see if they're in the view here. Hopefully you can hear me from here. But anyways, yeah. The whole this week and Throwdown. Let's kind of start with the let's start with Throwdown this time. Well, despite the fact of what happened earlier from last week's thing prior to, was very, very happy with Video Drew and definitely her performance, and I hope that this transitions into, hopefully this will be enough that maybe Kaiser will keep her. She'll probably be one of them. I don't know if Smets will still be a bargaining chip with that as a keepsake thing for him, which I would like that, but I think he may wind up having to keep Parker. I don't know if he will, and I think he could, but it's either him or, well, I know he's going to need play, and Mara was supposed to play, but that didn't work out for Coy. Lord knows when she's going to be able to play, and if Smets is ready, chances are, if he's going to be able to play, we won't hear from him until they do a trade thing, and maybe he'll get smashed back. Kaiser get smashed back then, I don't know. But anyways, I'm very happy with Video Drew. Hopefully she can get a better partner, and if he decides to keep Vinny around, or at least find a way to get him in the draft, if not sign him immediately, if not sign Video Drew, I'd say they should be a team instead of living Ray Kwan, and Kwan needs to get his feet wet a little longer. If he's even going to be drafted, he'll probably have become a forgotten thought at this point, sadly, for him. But anyways, though I feel bad for Jen Kemp, she didn't get to have a truly good showing in either of her debuts, but or at least she had a good enough showing, or at least to have a W in any of them. But Drew was on fire, and she needed it more than anything, and plus given it was November the 13th, a Friday the 13th nonetheless. I mean, I understand. But to me, that was the luckiest. The luck finally for the dungeon finally is coming. The real question is, will that show up with Brittany Young against Chris Jericho? Or will Jericho finally get one over in that match? So, because I think Jericho probably needs to win more just to stick around, or else he's just, I'd be mad if he gets frustrated and he doesn't want to come back. Because that's definitely going to play a part in, which just, it sucks, because that keeps some of the wrestling people interested, even though it's went way more sport. And the moment he leaves after this season, good luck getting anyone in the wrestling people back, because that is his only thing he's got right now, wrestling oriented wise, since all the wrestling elements have kind of been put to the wayside for the more sports oriented stuff, and which is bothersome. And if they are starting it, that sucks, and I think it's bullshit, because because it's possible that all these people that are supposed to work aren't wearing masks, and they should be fucking wearing masks. Because those people that should be working and building up that fucking studio so we can finally get some goddamn studio matches probably sounds louder actually than I actually am, but I'm actually being kind of quieter. I'm not whispering. This is all ASMR if I have to. Because it's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. Figured I'd use this thing to help out. But yeah. Anyways, it's... Also, I had a head here, that's why I'm just leaving the head on for now. But yeah, or else I'd usually leave my head off anyway. I mean, well, if you're wondering, yeah. You can't see it, but it's over there, my vest. In case some of you are hunters yourself. I just took it off because I didn't need it at the time. Plus I'm wearing orange here, so it works out fine anyway. But anyways, I do feel bad for Jen because she seemed awesome. And she did cut a good promo. That's for sure. Or at least enough that Harlow's kid who likes Cushing thought she was cool, even though she's probably gonna be bummed that she lost anyway. But hopefully she does come back next season. I really think she should, because her 2 losses shouldn't relegate. And it's possible. If not, then chances are she could still back up and yeah. But we'll get to more Usual Suspects talk in terms of what happened in this week's matches, which apparently one of them was supposedly already spoiled in the Patreon match from last week. I mentioned in that match was Deception versus Lethal Weapons. Luckily, I didn't get a chance to see it when that part version of the episode before they edited it for the rest of the patrons. So, luckily I got to be surprised. But, yeah, the surprise felt kind of underwhelming to me. Because I mean, it was more shocking in the sense that I don't think anybody expected that as the result to be that way. And guys, and plus what Guy's been saying about it is some kind of bullshit. I do love what Trans has to say, but at the same time, it's more also about the fact that what he's bitching about, there are a certain sect of people, including certain people that I know within the Gucciverse that have been running the channel, which I will not be giving names, that have lost their interest in Schmoedown because it has become too sports oriented, and Guy's basically speaking for them, it seems, who miss that more wrestling element. Though he said that last season it had been that person, and I'm not gonna, and I don't agree with them. In terms of that season, in terms of this season, yes. And it has basically, 2020 basically did enough to, we managed to still have good momentum, but once we got into the tournaments we were used to, that we've always been used to over the seasons, after, or at least more so, after the pay-per-view month, that's leading up to the Jericho match, given the other match that was supposed to be co-main event, underwhelming us, I think one, surprisingly, and the Chadwick Boseman thing had to happen and been in the chats and ruin it for everybody in that premiere. But anyways, and then they had to re-air that one episode, because especially with Roxy's comments only be coming to fruition, I think that pissed a lot of people off, almost as if she may as well have ruined it. Almost nearly ruined the pay-per-view in the process. But anyways, I don't know. I guess Roxy's okay, and I forgot I had something I wanted to also say that I wish I had a chance to ask Snyder Friday night while I was in the Gucciverse Patreon, which if you're not part of that, you should sign up to that. Especially with whenever we finally, even though apparently there is not going to be anything Gucciverse this week because of holidays. So everyone's going to be kind of sort of busy with that, which, no, I'd love it if we'd at least had to do something separate Patreon-wise with the Zoom. some of us directors and stuff. But anyways, but other than that, I enjoyed. And also the Wildberries match, they almost freaked me out and thought like Hook was gonna pull a Finn Draco thing. Luckily that wasn't the case. Although I'm starting to ponder about something that would be cool in the future for a match, because both are very good at trivia and both add to a certain sect of horror element. One bringing a more serious levity and one bringing a more comedic levity to it. And I think Tom and Mark Hoyk should be a team. I think that should be a team in the future. And I think that they could actually pull it off. It would, in terms of the element, in terms of the more character-based elements, and to hear that, I need to see that episode, by the way. Speaking of Hamilton and stuff, and yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, my time within there has been good. My time helping, and also the whole thing with Bateman. I feel bad for everyone in Action. He's been wanting to root for Guy, and this just, I knew that the way that this was a match that further proves my point on why this tournament's not going to be with the way this tournament is, and how this year is not as good as it used to be. This year is not as good as it could have been had it not been for the pandemic. Some people want to say, oh, no, pandemic aside because of that. I'm like, bullshit. It is because of the pandemic. That's really the big problem, because if we still had it in studio and in live events and went with the plans we were supposed to have, I guarantee you, certain people wouldn't be saying that, and nor would we have what Guy would have said about his match. And it was a tight match in the round one of that, and at the moment they just had the unlucky aspect of opponent's joints, not to mention the opponent's choice they chose. It's clear to me that both Marisol, and because of their known fandom, Marisol and Adam Collins, I don't know why I even played on him with how much we've been getting traction he's been getting. Jesus, man. But anyways, it's been crazy. It seems his momentum is still not being budged, and they just, honestly, I think that it was more the fact that they just lucked out in that match. They were doing damn good, even though I think Lethal Weapons were they ahead, or were they a little behind because the guy missed a few questions, or did they wind up slightly ahead by one? Either way, I don't think any of them got a perfect round except me. I think, well, then again, I think Lethal Weapons were behind Deception, but yeah, I didn't expect a KO at all. Hell, I'm kind of surprised they didn't bother the way they were talking. They should have went multiple choice in the last one, and they would have at least been able to go to round 3. I'm surprised they didn't even think about doing that. And it's clear it seems because of their fandom, they at least knew that Guy wasn't going to be, of the two, Guy wasn't the threat. It was more Ethan they had to worry about. And all they had to do was find a weakness for Ethan, so all he would have to do was try to lean on Guy, which never would have worked. And to find out in the Patreon of the Gucciverse, Janine wound up showing up when the conversation came up. She did say she could have gotten those classics or something. I think it was. Which basically makes a lot of some people fans think that Sam wasn't thinking when it came to that, but it was pretty clear he had to get Guy to do it. But now, because of this, it's been, and even from what he said in that and even on Action Unfiltered, Guy's done doing this virtual. But he still will play. But if that's the case and we have to go into virtual, chances are he's not going to get picked up. And if he does, he's going to be lower tier. And he was only picked up because he was part of McWhinney in that team anyway. that's what sucks. Guy needed, and he at least improved for the most part as a player. It just they got unlucky and got up pretty and did what they had to do. But the fact that they left 2 2-point steals really didn't help them at all, especially with. But they knew because there was some sense of strength for them with that one, and they capitalized on it completely before and answered both questions before they could even answer their own, which goes to show. Which hell, we didn't even get to their round twos if I'm not mistaken. So unless they did have their round two and then they went to them, I think that's what happened, and they answered theirs before it even got to round three, so it was pointless. It was frustrating, guys. It was a little frustrating to see that happen. But, and yes, and some of Sam does have some points in the sense that if they were in studio, would it be different? Studio or doing a live event, it'd be different. Which, and basically further proving the point that whatever wins he has right at this point, even has in this season, though it has boring ideas, just the more the fact they don't have character work, but honestly, that's kind of a slight to Ethan too, because technically he didn't have character work. He just did the same kind of thing and just answered questions because he knew what he could do. That's what he did. So I almost feel like he may as well have slapped Ethan in the face, which I think was a bad move, and this sucks because at this point, good luck. I mean, he can be a team's player, but he can't play in the virtual. And if virtual is still what we're going to do in the first quarter, which I think is ridiculous, I think it shouldn't be. I think we should have been able to start at least having studio matches. Even if we don't get live events, we can live with just having in-studio matches and in-studio throwdowns. Because if, what Emma's been doing, Fife's been doing with Finn, and how they've been social distancing, even though they're probably on lockdown again, so it may not matter, or at least some kind of curfew thing. But I still think they could pull it off with that. Regardless, there's not much other than that. The Wild Bears match was pretty tight, and it does. And the farewell I forgot the farewell to Mikuga was nice and wonderful, but the problem with that one was that I wanted to appreciate it, but but it was so late in the dang game at this point, with being so used to and just getting it, honestly, already adjusting to this more sports-like thing, to where when we did get to the wrestling stuff, at least in this more virtual setting, it just didn't work as well as it could have if it were live or something like that. And I think that's what sucks, because what Guy's been doing, he's been trying to thrive off of that way. So, and it's frustrating, guys. It's frustrating. And Founding Fathers needed the win on this one, despite the fact that now that Deception made their win, and it doesn't matter now. The only way that for them to have a chance is if, for Founding Fathers, or at least the Finstock Exchange, to have any likely a chance, not only they're going to have to beat Final Exam, but they're going to have to hope and pray on Couple B Deception at this point. Because if they don't, good luck with that. And by the time they go up against Deception, I don't know if Founding Fathers will pull it. After what happened in this match, it literally almost could have led to them having to answer Founding Fathers having to answer 5-pointer. Plus they wound up spinning in Norgitum, which clearly it's on there more so because of Dan Murrow, and we get to see a little glimpse of it, and yeah, he's got some work. He hasn't been able to further test himself outside of this match with Energitum, so he's never had a chance to really deep dive in. So he's got work ahead of him. He's got a lot of work ahead of him, for sure, if he's going to do it. And even Roko knew he couldn't do it, so he had to lean on him for it, because we know that was him who put it on there, because he knew. Because none of the other players have been in Energitum. So, in that match, Perry and I guess Haley could have. Though I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on there, so maybe they might have known some stuff. Who knows? Although, I think they wound up missing one question and they were able to kind of get one, but that's it. Other than that, it was just whatever. It was whatever. It was a fine match, and I mean, they didn't get to have they didn't get to go to Founding Fathers 5, but that was a good thing for them. But the fact that it went that tight, they can't have that kind of a. If that's their momentum, they needed the win. It was a must-win. But if this is the momentum for them going forward into final exam, they don't. Yikes! They don't have a prayer, especially given that the only match that final exam have lost is literally to the now current team champions in Shazam, which yes, Founding Fathers have beaten, but this Founding Fathers is different from the Founding Fathers of then that had to beat them at last year's Spectacular to retain. And it's funny how they were able to beat Corruption, even though I was hoping Corruption would be as tight and now sort of under, even though they were on fire and Corruption wasn't the Corruption then. Was as lights out in the match against Founding Fathers. It's just whatever with that. But anyways, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Let's see what happens with that. So, but anyways, what did you guys say? But that's what that match is. Going forward, I personally am hoping for a couple and Founding Fathers too, because Lord knows if we're ever gonna get to see, given what Snyder has kind of said about it, I would. And I didn't get a chance. I forgot what I was gonna ask him about. And I was gonna say it. I was gonna put it here, but I can't remember it anymore. I was gonna say something about it, and maybe I did, and I don't remember. But anyways, what a match! What a fucking it was a fucking match. But at this point, final exam of Founding Fathers is gonna be interesting to understand. At this point, going into Moise, if final exam wins it, Founding Fathers need it way more than them personally. But it just sucks what happened. That's why even Jeannie was like, whatever. And she had good momentum coming off of her Throwdown match against Father, but I think a lot of people had her winning. Though I don't think a lot of people were expecting him to win via that way. But it worked out that way, so I don't even know if Warhawk is going to be in the next season or not. I could see it work character-wise, but I don't think it'll matter, given with it being so sports-oriented with his record and everything. Well, then again, it's 1-1, so it's whatever. Singles-wise, at least. But his interkeeping record ain't looking good, so. And who knows what he could do with a team. He thrives better there. Now that I think about it. But Morrison McKee, they did super well there. I don't know how they're going to be against Hakobo. But it makes it more interesting. Given another Snyder versus Collins rematch in a way, but they're teams. So we'll see. But this being teams is where Jeff thrives even more. So there's a thing within Draco's help. Chances are it will definitely. Odd Couple might be more the favorites going into this as opposed to Deception anyway. But it's gonna be tough to say. After this, and then after those two matches, and then we have the finals the following week. So, unless the plan is to have them both this week, I guess next week after this week, the only thing we'll have is just the finals next week. So there won't be anything hardly much to talk about. Also, apparently, for those of you who don't know, apparently, some of you know about this, and I'm telling you this now. essentially. So now Dad has been relegated to living down here while she's dealing with it, and hopefully we figure out something, you know. But anyways, what did you got? And that's what's going on with that. It upsets me though. I might be able to go to my usual place, but I do have a buddy to where I can at least maybe through my own vehicle, with his help with his Wi-Fi, I might be able to do something with this. Who knows what I do with that? But that's what it seems I'm gonna have to do. So if you're wondering why there's not gonna be as much uploads and certain uploads I wanted to do, some of it's been more just procrastination and shit. But yeah, that I'm gonna be relegated to for 14 days, so I won't be able to. And if I do, aside from probably going to my buddies just to upload or something, I may just wind up having to pick up some essentials for foods or something. Maybe. Because I won't be relegated to doing a whole lot. Anyways, that's what's going on with me, I guess. So far, no deer. Of course, I can show the other side. Let's see. Nothing. But anyways, after this, I'm pretty much getting back to just waiting for them to show up. So, yeah. What did you guys think of the matches? Throwdown matches and the matches between and the last two matches of round one. So these other semifinals, there's the whatever's going on with the spectacular. So, and it seems from what it sounds like we may only be getting. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but it sucks to see what happens now. But I'm grateful that I'll still have this, and I guess next week we'll still have the Schmoedown. Throwdowns for now. We'll probably still be getting it for I don't think they'll do Sin though, Thanksgiving, but I'm sure I'll still release that episode, I guess, and then have the other one on Friday. But either way, this has been, it's been fine leading up to the road to the team's belt, to finally seeing what's going on in Spectacular. Hopefully we'll see what the team's logo's gonna look like once we finally see that finished, and hopefully they'll get to show off the logo for the Spectacular, which, once we find out who's gonna win the team's finals. So, I am baking and hoping for a Found a Feather Shot couple, which would be cool, to be honest with you. It'd be cool to finally see that happen, because those teams that have been around so long and never had a chance to meet one another to see who's the best of the best. And I feel like that's the one thing that would make this, honestly, to me, this tournament worthwhile, is if those two teams finally got at least one chance to go up against each other, given the circumstances of what is happening now within this whole thing. That's why I'm hopeful for that. I will be surprised at this point if Deception finds a way to win. Not really. Will I now be surprised if Sam outbeats Founding Fathers? Not really. Not really either, but I would rather honestly see, just because I want a chance to finally see, like everybody else, Odd Couple versus Founding Fathers. Just because we haven't never had a chance to see them face each other, and we don't know if they ever, and if they lose, at least I want to see them face each other before they have a shot. And both two former teams, title champs, let's go up against each other in a finals for a tournament to get a belt. That's fucking, you know what I mean? And both have been in the grind. They Brothers has the weak arm on that one, but it seems Odd Couple's been thriving a little bit better with it, especially in the case of Snyder recently with the singles tournament, despite the loss to Collins, which I think he feels he needs to some redemption for that by beating Deception, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think for a fucking second. I mean, at this point, the only reason why I'm gonna be kind of happy with that finals match, semifinals match, is because Roxy and Shannon going at it is fucking hilarious. Gonna be fucking hilarious. If there's even anything going on between them two, but anyways, I am very happy for you, Drew. Best man. At least one half of what was the Looney Bin got it. Managed to at least gain some good graces, this season. Well, aside from Tom's few wins he had in the tournament, But yeah, like I said, that Tom and Garth, if we don't get a Looney Bin reunion, I will, or if Tom and Paul can't find a better momentum moving forward as a team, which I wish they could, man, I feel like it's just bad luck. Whatever bad luck Paul Preston's been getting lately, it's been showing. Or at least it seems like he's even stated that his old wife Karen used to be his good luck charm. And maybe that is the case. I mean, everything else in life, it seems things are looking up a little bit for him. But it seems just the Schmoedown not so much in the way things have been going, sadly. I do hope this luck turns back around. Schmoedown luck turns back around next season. But anyways, what did you guys think of these matches? Leave a comment below, let me know. Anything I missed talking about, always helpful. Rock that like button like the rest of you must. Hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell. Link in the description to my Facebook page. Like and follow me there. I also might throw up some stuff on my personal Instagram, but we'll see. But I'm not putting it on here in the description, so whatever. But also, the match, not the match, what am I saying? Also, there's links in the description to speaking of President Ant Smith's, the page that he and Kaiser made for the GoFundMe is still there. And maybe you can still kind of sort of check out the Smithsathon channel for certain things, if you have to, so, #SmatchCancer. We'll get out of here and try to do some proper hunting. This rocket moves Tyler and Tyler. If you ASMR style, if you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown.